Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Umlink Energy Speaks Back, powered by Hark. My name is Paul Webb. I'm the founder of B2B Energy, and I'm your host. And weekly, I present to you experts from around the world. Welcome to episode 88. My special guest today brings us insights into social media, and in specific, she brings insights and advice around LinkedIn. And our purpose, as always, is to provide a good understanding of energy management knowledge from around the world, which is available today for us to deliver savings that impact on our planet. And on our journey of knowledge sharing, we would like to thank our sponsors, who are Umlink, who are taking the confusion out of energy management, Hark Systems, renowned for their energy software, Clean Energy Revolution for their knowledge and networking through LinkedIn, B2B Energy for their 11-week energy program and reducing organizations' third largest expense, Alexis Energy for power management initiatives, led by Vision, who are an LED and a controls company, Watts for electronics and EV transition, Carbon Black Global for their waste to energy initiatives, Cinefex for their insulation coating, and SmartCall for their AC initiatives. And lastly, our certificate partners, Esther Energy. Our special guest today, in my books, has become the expert in social media, and she's known throughout LinkedIn as the LinkedIn lady. So without any further ado, I give you Vernini Vig. Good afternoon, Vernini, and how are you today?
I'm good, Paul. How are you doing?
Very well. It's really great to see you, and I trust you at home in the... Can I see the sun in the background?
I am sitting in sunny Cheam at the moment.
Right. Is that real sun or is it just a illusion?
No, it's real sunshine.
Oh, good.
Good energy today.
I can tell you today, we've got April showers here and we're in May, so it's not really making much sense where I am at the moment in Essex. So, but it's good to see that, I'm talking to someone who's got similar temperatures to what I've got. Normally I'm talking to people around the world and they're very, very hot. It's not really fair, is it, sometimes? So, Vernini, we have met, I think we met in 2019. Around about early 2019. And I always remember that you on that night, because you had these leopard skin trainers on. And it was your theme, wasn't it? It was your theme. So we met in real life when we didn't have none of the problems with COVID and things like that. And we built this business relationship around LinkedIn. And obviously, we got to know each other very, very well because you are responsible for my my LinkedIn sort of journey as such. We're going to touch on that, obviously, through our sort of podcast today. But so I know nearly everything about you. But for the benefit of our audience today, can you tell us some of your background and your origin story?
Cool. So I have been. I'm an IT manager by trade. I've been doing that for the last 20-something years, all for corporate financial services, that kind of thing. And a few of my friends had social media was coming along. They had businesses and they were really struggling. And I decided to look into social media, help them out because they were struggling a little bit. I was like, can't be that hard. There's got to be another way. So trained all the Facebook training, Instagram training. LinkedIn was my platform anyway, because I've come from a corporate background, and quite quickly understood all the differences between the different platforms, what to do, how to do it. So I helped before COVID. I helped quite a few restaurants, build their social presence, online presence. And then obviously COVID hit and those restaurants closed down and LinkedIn just blew up. Everybody needed a profile optimization. Everyone needed to be online. Everyone was used to being more digital. There was lack of presence. So that's pretty much where it kind of kicked off.
And you mentioned LinkedIn. Did all the platforms really take off, or was LinkedIn the main one that really took off regarding the corporate side?
For corporate, definitely LinkedIn, for B2B. And also people were really needed to learn how to understand Instagram and Facebook for B2C businesses. So it's kind of, that's the split really. But they can go crossover, but it's just primarily LinkedIn for B2B, B2C, Instagram, and Facebook.
So I'd like to focus just on the LinkedIn one, because obviously we are mainly B2B regarding the audience that we have. And I want to touch on, so obviously we went into lockdown and people had their profiles. Obviously I'd been doing all my work in the late 2019 on mine, but so what things had to be done to get them from sort of going fully online? What sort of things did you have to focus on?
Well, most people have a LinkedIn profile, but don't actually use it. It was more back in 2017, prior to 2017, it was literally a recruitment database. It's where you would go to look for a job. You might have your education on there, your work experience, and it was just a CV database primarily. It got bought out by Microsoft in 2017, and people started to realize that it's a much better. The first thing you do when you move job is you update your title and tell everybody where you are. So it's the most up-to-date platform to find anybody that you want to speak to. It's always up to date. It's not old data. It's always current data. And obviously, as you know, data is really, really expensive. So people have now worked out that if you optimize your profile to be seen with your online presence, to show people what you can do and how you can help them, what your best skill set is, you can use LinkedIn for finding another job, for finding another prospect, for connecting with another company to do collaborative work. Whatever your goal is, you can do it on LinkedIn, because it's just such a wide variety of people on there. It's global, it's up to date, it's current. And every decision maker that you ever want to get in contact with, regardless of what industry, what level, anybody that you want, they're all on there.
How many users are there now?
About 700 million, I think, nowadays.
Wow. And growing, as always.
Growing. And there are 3 types of people on LinkedIn. There are just the lurkers that just view and don't do anything. Then there's the people that actually look at things and may interact and engage a little bit. And then only 1% out of all of those people actually create content and post on LinkedIn.
1%.
1% of all of those people.
Wow.
So, it's always good to be a leader and not a follower. So if you've optimized your profile and you're standing out from the crowd and you're gearing up on your online presence and becoming present, you become an influencer on the platform. It's super easy. And, it's all about positioning.
But it's not, one of the biggest stumbling blocks, which I'm sure you would allude to regarding getting started, is the content. You need the content, don't you? Before you can do anything.
You need 2 things. Firstly, you need to optimize your profile. So tell people who you are, what it is you do, how you can help them. And, make sure that people really understand how you can help. It's not a sales base or picture. No one likes to be sold to. But the more people can relate to you and you build that know, like, and trust with people, it all starts with your profile. So as soon as they look at anyone wants to get to know you, they look up your profile first. And, it's always good to make sure that is fully, explains fully who you are and what you do. The second side of it then is actually creating content. So again, creating content of value to help people. Every client that you've got out there has got a pain or a solution, and you've got the solution. And especially you, Paul, you've got so much information and knowledge about energy and how to help people save money, efficiency, tools, analytics, everything like that.
Yeah.
But no one knew like that, so the people that you knew you, but the people that didn't know you didn't know you.
Yeah.
So the beauty and the magic of optimizing your profile is that you can get seen by people you don't know. You can help them providing valuable tips. I think your first post was an energy meter where you'd saved somebody like £700 or something.
Exactly. Yeah. We went,
and
if I can remember, so we built a strategy, didn't we? And we said this is how it was going to work. And we wasn't posting videos every day. We had pictures, didn't we?
there's a
And so I remember one of my first posts was for like a motivation thing, was a can of Red Bull. That's all I had, can of Red Bull, and said, this is the energy drink. This is what we need to be talking about, energy. And I think I had a lid of peanut butter that said spreading energy.
Yes.
It was just so right at the time. These things were just suddenly appearing when I thought, well, I need to do that. And I do always look for things like that now, that if I see anything that sort of resonates with a post like that, because I find sometimes it's great putting the good content out regarding the knowledge, but occasionally people like to see what's happening in your personal life or what's happening around your day, basically.
To be human at the end of the day.
Exactly.
More people get to know you. They get to like you. They can decide whether they get to like you or not. And then if they like you, then they'll get to know you a bit more. And once they get to know you a bit more, then they trust you. So it's the know, like, and trust element. And the more authentic you are and the more you share what you're doing, obviously, I'm not talking about like share what you're having for breakfast or, that you know, whatever. But as long as you're sharing, it's still, LinkedIn is as much as it's a professional website, social platform, you've still got to have some sort of, relief of it's still a social platform.
Yeah.
So, you've got to like mix it up, make sure you have a little bit of serious, a little bit of fun. And actually don't take yourself, if you take yourself seriously, you've got, no one's perfect. And so it's okay to make mistakes.
I'm smiling because I remember when we used to do the video. So for the benefit of the audience today, Vernini was responsible for all my early videos. And all she would say to me behind the screen was, smile, 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 because I wouldn't smile. And then we did one video that said, people ask me why I'm so serious. And the reason why I'm serious is because this is a serious subject. And it was quite funny because we was laughing behind the scenes about it. But you made me smile all the time, and I struggled with that because I wanted to be serious all the time, didn't I?
The thing is that you can be serious, and people might just think, you're just too serious, and and they might, they might not approach you because they're not too much of a serious guy.
Exactly.
But you've got to smile, have a bit of, be human. Like, people buy from people at the end of the day. Exactly. And people like to relate to people. Really, it's all about being relatable. Know what you're doing, social proof what you're doing. And so between your profile and how you can help people, and then sharing a bit of content where you can show people how you can help people, and showing the human element side of yourself, you then have a full online presence. And then once you're visible and people can see you, I'm sure, I don't know, Paul, maybe you've been to events where you don't know them, they've seen you on LinkedIn, and then they've said,
that. I do have that quite a few times where people come up to me and say, hi, Paul, how's it going? And they're talking to me as if I do know. I get that. Now, Vernini, we've made it sound very simple regarding getting started. So do your profile, get your content, be personable. That is all very straightforward and very easy. But what we haven't really alluded to was the dreaded word, which I fight this every day, and that's the algorithm. Because, I may have 24,000 people follow me, but 24,000 people aren't going to get my post every day. It has to go through the LinkedIn criteria regarding the value of before it gets shared. So, you have to track people liking it and passing comment on it, and getting that engagement before LinkedIn say, okay, we're going to release that to the next 25%, the next 25 and the next 25. I'm not sort of looking for the solutions behind that, but we are constantly, as LinkedIn posters, fighting it every day, aren't we?
Yeah.
Have you got any words of wisdom around that?
So there's two things, right? So there's people who chase the algorithm, your success will be only limited because you're just chasing the algorithm. If you really define your target audience and really share the right content, people will engage anyway. And then because they're engaging, the algorithm kicks in. So I wouldn't worry too much about the algorithm as such. There is obviously a threshold that, or points that, the platform has a look and says, oh, there's something really exciting going on here. There's starting to be some traction. And then that throws it out.
Yeah.
But if you manage to create content where people like it, they'll comment on it, or create some activity, it could be anything. It literally could be anything. But the more you relate to the people that you really want to do business with, it will come anyway.
Yeah.
They'll interact with it. And again, it's always good to put that humor, that sort of stuff in it, because if somebody connects with your humor, it's likely that every time you put out a bit of funny content or a bit something that will make somebody smile, at the end of the day, if you can make someone smile every day or have a look at something, then it's all good. So I think it's more focus on your content and be consistent. I think that's the other thing. Is number one, make sure your profile shows you how you're helping people. Number two, create valuable content. And three, be consistent, because I think the more you show up in front of somebody and the more they see you every day, the more likely they are to like you, and then the more likely to actually engage with your content.
Based on the work we were doing, I had people contact me and say, had I taken over LinkedIn, or do I own LinkedIn now and things, because I'm always on it. And that's because your post, I find your posts, every time you do a post, that'll probably last for about 10 days. I often get someone's liked a post and I think, wow, that's 10 days ago I posted that. And you get the comments come back. And sometimes I've had posts from years ago where it's come up and someone's liked it because they've gone through, they've rabbit holed through me and gone through down all my posts as such. So, though you post every day, you've got just to remember that post will last for a long period. All my articles are still going to be in there on my profile. So Absolutely. It's worth sort of knowing that.
Yeah, I think every piece of content that you create will go a long way, and especially ones of value, because people will keep going back to that. And also, when people are asking you questions, you can always copy the link to that post and say, I've already created a video on this, or I've already created an article on this, or how do I do something? And you can repurpose that stuff as much as you want.
Yeah.
When you fully optimize your profile, there are little tweaks that you can do to help direct your the most frequently asked or your best performing posts and stuff like that, or the most valuable content. You can tag that. So people.
Yeah. So on that subject, don't be shy to repurpose old posts and old, things that come up.
If you think that your audience is always growing, and so you may think that after, I don't know, like 6 months, maybe you're going to have so many more followers than you had before. And either people will see it again after 6 months and go, oh, that's really interesting. Oh, I remember that. And then haven't done anything about it. Or you've got your new audience who then take action on what you're doing and what you're saying. So you should always don't ever be scared of repurposing content. No. Just obviously don't do it too often where it becomes repetitive.
I think if I repurpose mine, you wouldn't know, because I don't. I hardly repurpose anything. So tell us, so your obviously you got sucked into your real job regarding the IT side during COVID because of the sort of the transition of people working from home, and that created loads of pressure for you going forward. But you've sort of pivoted your business now regarding your social media business. Tell us a bit about that.
So during COVID, I was so busy during the day, just responding to my day job, that I did social media profiles helping people in the evening, because that's the only way I could fit them in. I needed to serve these people. They needed help. And so every day at 6 o'clock, I did a profile review session. And it was brilliant because I managed to do 5 profiles a week. Wow. Live. I'd get them on, actually go through an audit, optimize them, and, got their online presence out there. And, some of those are really thriving now. And if they hadn't pivoted at that point, they might not have a business today. So that was really good. Since then, I have created like a course now where I just teach people, because before I was doing profile management, well, there's tiers. You can either do the profile management for you, I can help do content creation. Obviously, I was seeing you when we were working, actually being able to physically see you, bring all my kit and do that. But then it was a bit more difficult when COVID happened. I think we did a session virtually, didn't we?
Oh, we were doing videos via, I had my phone set up and you was looking at me, telling me, smiling again. And yeah. And then I would send you the videos and then you would edit them.
So it's been a whole learning curve on how to support people online with their content creation. But then other people just needed hand-holding of they can do it themselves, but it does take time. So it's a case of just teaching people, how to optimize their profile, how to create content, video skills, how to present yourself on camera, how to smile, how to be authentic, how to do creatives, how to create posts, content calendar, because I think the main 2 things people really, really struggle with is, what do I post? Oh my God. And 2, I don't have time. So between having a content calendar, knowing how to batch up your content and how to create content and how to save time doing that, they're the main 2 things that I can bring value to people. So it's like how to start. Again, when you said we didn't have a strategy at the beginning, it's like once you get into the mindset of what you can post, what to look out for, when to pull your phone out and video yourself. Because if you're not in the mindset of doing it, that you don't do it, and then you just think, oh, social media, can't be bothered with all that. It's too hard. But actually, it's not.
My social thing, LinkedIn was amazing for me. As I always tell, we sat down, and I'm going to tell the audience a story so me and Vernini had this one-to-one, and she said, I've looked at your profile, and she said, you obviously know your stuff, but you need to do videos. And I said, Vernini, I'm not going to do videos. Listen to my voice. Even now, look, I sound like Ian Bill, which is an EastEnder from TV character. I said, I can't do it. And she took her phone out, pushed it into my face and said, tell me what you do. So me being me, I rattled off what I did. And then we watched a video together and we both looked at each other and said, it's pretty good. We could probably do something with that. And then we went into a meeting room, I think the following week, and then we set the tripod up, set out, and we batch recorded, which I think is a very good tip. We've done about 6 videos. You went off and top and tailed them. And that was it. And we did one a week, and it just exploded. And I can't say who the client was, but I was approached by a client very quickly, significant amounts of business just off the back of that. And I didn't ask for it, because that's the key thing, isn't it? No call to action. Don't ask people for business.
You need to give people a call to action. So visit my web. If they want more information, visit your website or check out my profile or DM me or whatever it is you do. You can always guide people on what the next step is, but you don't need to sell anything. It's like...
So selling, not the call to action, the actual selling. Don't sell on social
Never
media?
sell. LinkedIn is all about being in the business room, online presence. Just be who you are, do what you do, and people who want to do business with you will come. And you know what? You're not for everyone. This is the thing. People go, oh, what if people don't like me, or what if I say the wrong thing, or anything like that. It's kind of like, if you're, one of the lurkers and not one of the 1% creators on here, it's one of those where it doesn't matter. Like you're still the same if you're in a room of people, networking event, you're still the same person as you are online. So just behave the same. Go and say hi to people. Just introduce yourself to people. If someone's having a conversation, join in. If someone's like having a conversation on a topic that you are interested in, join in. It's only a comment, and if the comment's wrong, it doesn't matter. It's like, I think at the end of the day, there's haters everywhere. So people are going to be horrible. They're going to be horrible when they're online or in your face.
So this brings me on to a very important point. The trolls. Yes. People attacking you. Have you got a way that you would deal with that?
I think we had one of those together, didn't we, at the beginning?
We had a couple, didn't we?
Like...
One of them has become my very good friend.
So I would say to people, you know what? You're not for everyone. Everybody's not for everyone. There's going to be people that like you, and there's going to be people that don't like you. I know that people either like me or they don't. And those that don't, oh, well, there's that many more people that will. So it's fine. And I think, well, you think your voice is squeaky. I'll sound like a Smurf. You think that you're Ian Beale. I'm Mrs. Squeak. I think when you have a troll, it's okay. I wouldn't worry about it, because
it's proof, isn't it? That you've reached someone that has got an opinion about what you're doing. It's proof.
Well, they say that bad press is just as good as as good press. And I think that as long as you're consistent and you know what you're talking about, and you come back with factual, never get emotional on one of those posts. Don't get upset or anything. Just look at them and go, you know what? Thank you for visiting my profile. Thank you for challenging me. And, thank you for making me think about what I do know.
Yeah.
And just be really happy and grateful that someone's checking for you, that someone that you didn't even know.
Yeah.
So, you just got to look at the positives on that. Trolls are good for you, but don't let their bad energy in.
Literally. So you're right. We did have one. I challenged what he said to me in a nice way regarding, thank you for your comments. This is how I was seeing that particular post. He would then came back again. I said, obviously you've got concerns about what I'm promoting here. Why don't we have a private conversation in my direct messaging? It could go one of two ways. He could disappear, or he can come and chat with me. One of them disappeared, and then the other guy come and chatted to me, and he's going to be on my podcast soon. I'm going to interview him. Very nice guy. And he challenged me because he's old school. He knows the story behind everything. He's got a good academic understanding, but not a physical understanding. That's where we was different, really. So I think I always see a troll as an opportunity, really. Definitely.
Everyone's got their own version of what they see and what they do. So, if the color yellow, you might see a different color yellow to the shade I see of yellow, but actually the same as yellow. So I would say to people, don't worry about trolls. And as again, this isn't Instagram or Facebook where it's all, not professional people. It's just people who are giving their opinion from their model of the truth.
Yeah.
And you just have to respect that and just go, well, thanks. And also, if it's a troll, it is someone that you've reached out to with your content, to somebody that you didn't know. And if there's somebody like that, then think about all of the good people that have seen it as well. And so then, thanks, troll.
So with your particular role that you have in this industry now, where do you think your challenges are?
Uh, it's just I think sometimes I try to explain things to people and they're still scared, and it's, their fear of fear. I say video skills and people don't really want to be online. I don't want to be present. Don't want to be online.
Yeah.
I think it's just other people's fears and helping them overcome that is probably the biggest challenge of it's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah.
Only social media.
And the age thing, isn't it? When I'm 58, but I'm still doing it. I'm podcasting. I'm now YouTubing. It's for everyone, isn't it? Social media. There's no age group. Doesn't matter how old you are. You can't say, oh, I'm too old to do that.
Not at all. As long as you've got an open mind, you have probably got, right, you as my client, anything I said, you were up for it. You were like, yeah, no problem. I'd be like, let's do this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I've got a couple of other clients who won't go on camera, won't do video, won't do podcast, won't do anything. And they're so I just want to be behind the scenes. So I'm having to come up with different ways of how we can get them out there.
Yeah.
But, eventually, I don't know how long it will take me, but I will get them on camera. But that's my own perseverance. But you know what? The quicker you get on camera and people can see you in your eyes, the quicker you'll make a relationship with someone.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's the biggest challenge is getting people to get over their own fear and get them out of their, I don't want to.
You saying that about me absorbing everything you put forward. We were in an office late one night with my son with me, Fraser, and they were turning the lights off, and we wanted to film Fraser in the dark reading a book, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we had this mad idea that because it was during a time anyway, so we filmed him because I wanted to talk about leaving the lights on and the children, as a son, my dad used to say to me, oh, these lights are on up here and you're downstairs. It's like Blackpool illuminations. So we wanted to film Fraser sitting there reading a book in the dark. And we did, didn't we? And we posted it. I can't remember what the process was, but I remember we did that.
I think it was Fraser sitting in the dark and he'd be like, turn the lights on, Dad, because you were turning off all the lights. But again, that bit of post was relatable, that every parent who's got a teenage child, turn all the lights on. And you just think, well, especially now with energy bills being so crazy, people cannot afford to keep leaving every single light on in the house unless you've installed smart technology and you can sit there with your phone and turn off all the lights, as the kids are going round. But, that technology's only become available recently, affordable, right?
Exactly. Vernini, it's come to that time. You've given so much already regarding your knowledge and sort of explaining about LinkedIn aspects. But is there anything now that you can give back to our audience and our industry regarding a takeaway?
I would definitely say be consistent. It's so important. Consistency. If you're starting out, batch up a whole load of content that will get you through the next 4 weeks, have a framework and go from there. And, the more you're consistent, the better it will be for you, because the algorithm will get to know you and like you. It's a bit like being in a bar. You go in every day, the barman knows who you are. You probably get served every day. You go in once a week, he kind of knows who you are. But then if you don't go in all the time, they don't know who you are. So it's good. Just be consistent with your content.
And just touching on the consistency, do you post same time every day? Yeah.
Every day, same time. And whatever that is right for you, because people will say if you post, most people post 8 o'clock in the morning, right? Between 8 and 9 o'clock. Yeah. But if you're somebody that wants to start posting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, It might be that your audience is in the US, and that's perfect for them.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't post at 4 o'clock, they'll be like, where's your post? How come he hasn't posted at 4 o'clock? So your audience will get to know you after a little while. And they'll just pick a time that's convenient for you and post consistently on time.
I sometimes post, I try to post early in the morning between 7 and 8. But I sometimes say I'm posting like an American in the afternoon. I do fluctuate it. I have a post ready, but sometimes the day overtakes me, when certain things happen, really. If I'm traveling, etc.
I will just say, be consistent and do your research. So your target audience research, your hashtag research, your industry research, and all that sort of stuff. And look at some tools. There's loads of different tools out there that can help you schedule that stuff that don't impact your posting, and that'll help you be consistent,
Yeah.
As long as it's authentic content, I think just authenticity is key, research is key, and consistency.
Brilliant.
That's
and the reason why we're doing this today is that I want energy experts to be able to post with confidence, because they've got great messages out there for what we're trying to do, reducing kilowatt hours, reducing emissions, saving our planet. This is the idea of this. I want to give, as far as I'm concerned, you're an expert in LinkedIn, and you're giving that knowledge to the experts regarding energy.
Oh, good luck out there, energy experts out there, hashtag energy experts.
Hashtag energy experts. Brilliant. So Vernini, I'd like to say thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure. I love talking about the past and our journey. We still laugh about it. And Vernini, please, you and your family stay safe in these times.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. See you.